Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. Trying to get settled into the new job here. Been a little bit of a messed up week. I had originally thought that I would get the forwarder up here Tuesday, but ended up having some troubles with the harvester dying, which I think ends up being a fuel issue. I had trouble at the same place I got fuel last year this time. It's been pretty cold this week, and it seems like my processor is very finicky with fuel, and once it gets gelled up, it's like it's tainted, and really until you get it cut with some kerosene or something, it's hard to get it to come out of it, and I'll have to change fuel filters again. But it was kind of messed up because I had to put my new truck or bring it to the dealer to get the plow swapped over yesterday, and of course the day before was Monday, and I didn't have my fuel tank in my truck yet because I had plenty of fuel in the harvester from working Sunday, so it was just kind of frigged up. But I'll do a little review of my new truck here. It's not the fanciest model. I mean, it's got electric, if it'll focus, electric windows, locks, mirrors, obviously cruise control, all that stuff. This is one of the bigger differences from my old truck, and my phone will sync with this radio, which is real nice. So I've kind of gotten into podcasts and stuff lately, so it's kind of nice while you're driving. Also, there's a USB plug-in and a cigarette lighter plug-in in here, but also, and it's got a little slot so you can run it out right in here. But this is plugged in the USB. If I plug this into my phone, it'll link my contacts, and like I'll get text messages on there and stuff, and I can, like, if I want to do GPS from my phone, that'll show up on there, which is pretty nice. And I don't really remember with my last truck. I know it had Bluetooth for talking, but I never used it, and I didn't like it. But I am using it now. I guess this is what you're talking into, and the oddest thing for me is not holding the phone up to my ear, but it's nice. So, and I don't have the knob for electric for the four-wheel drive. It's manual, which is probably better. I don't have carpet. It's rubber floors, which is probably better for me to keep clean too. And one of the biggest things I noticed with this truck is just how soft everything is. It's real, like the old ones were, I don't know how to describe it. It's just real soft and real smooth. And the blinker's the same. I don't know that the shifter's much different. I mean, I notice it seems to be a lot more peppy and have a lot more power, but it's new too, so I don't know if it's just because my other truck was old or had a bunch of miles. And really the only thing that I had problems with already is it's got moisture in the lights here, and this light's already out, which kind of bugged me. So when I brought it into the dealer yesterday, they told me that there was moisture in this one too, so they're going to replace both on each side. I don't know if they must just be replacing the bottom. I'm not really 100% sure, but they didn't really waste any time. So I mean, I wasn't all that impressed that that happened, but I guess that stuff does happen. But they got right on it. So but overall I'm pretty impressed. I mean, maybe it's just me, and I was talking to somebody else that said the same thing, that I mean, they're the same engine. I don't know if they've done anything different, but it just seems to be a lot smarter. And of course it's a lot tighter than my old truck, so it's kind of nice to drive. And fuel filters on this are in there, and you can almost kind of hear it's running a little funny. And I always know, like, if the fuel is messed up and it's not either cut or treated right, the preheater is underneath that box right there, and that runs off the diesel. It's much like a space heater that heats up the coolant in the harvester and circulates it. It'll warm the cab up and stuff, because it's also combined with the fans in the cab. So if you set the timer early enough, you get here, the cab will be warm, and the engine's warm enough so you don't have to wait for it, other than maybe warming up the hydraulics. But when the fuel isn't right, that won't run right. Like, it'll come on and then just poof a bunch of smoke and shut off. So I kinda, that was definitely going on yesterday and today. I came up with a rental truck and I came up with a rental truck that they gave me yesterday, and thought that I'd put some 911, which is like diesel treatment for a piece of equipment that's gelled up, which I don't know, I think it works if the machine is running okay, but is acting a little funny. But once seems to me once it's like this, and this basically yesterday and the day before, the harvester, you could put it on like 1200 RPM and just, it might run for a little bit if you're putting it under any hydraulic load, but then it would kill it. So it just, you can't get enough fuel from the tank, and then sucks it out of the filters, and then you gotta prime it again. So once it gets like that, I don't really think that 911 does a whole lot. So I'm trying to let it warm up a little bit here this morning before I change the fuel filters again. And I'll try, usually once it runs for a little bit, that preheater will fire up. So I went through this same thing last year this time. It was much colder. I mean, it's been right around 0 in the mornings here, which isn't crazy cold. Last year when I was having a bunch of problems, it was like 25 below Fahrenheit. But I should know, it kind of pisses me off because I don't know if the truck stop that I got the off-road from is just cheap, and I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's up to the oil refineries or wherever they're getting the oil to blend it for winter, which is, I'm not sure if they blend it with kerosene there, but they blend the fuel so that it can withstand cold temperatures. And I don't know if, you know, they had fuel left in the tank, but they should know, and should, you know, have the company come and put whatever they're cutting it with, whether it's kerosene or however they do it, because it costs guys like me a lot of money, and it aggravates me that I kind of know that place. I had the same trouble last year, but I hadn't been having any trouble. But like I said, once these things get messed up, you know, last year I struggled with it for, I don't know, it seemed like a week, until I finally just went and bought straight kerosene and got that run through the system. And then I think so many people had so much trouble that, you know, they finally started cutting the fuel right. I never had any more trouble, you know, for the rest of the winter. So, but I figured I'd do a little quick kind of 2-part video here, kind of little review of my truck. Got 700 something miles on it already, which is crazy. And just what's been going on this week. Wes is getting moved up here this morning, so I don't know, I don't really have a lot of wood on the ground here, so we may just get the machine up here today. And I've got a couple other things he can probably do, and then hopefully I get a little more wood on the ground. He can start tomorrow. I guess this week's all right. We had a week's worth of wood on the last job to get trucked, so, you know, if all I end up doing this week is getting enough wood ahead so that Wes can start, then, and I still have a buffer, you know, and we'll be fine next week. So, but alrighty, I figured I'd do a quick little update here, review type thing. So like, subscribe, and comment. We'll catch you later. So I came back just for a second for you guys here. That's all it took. I didn't even have to change the fuel filters. I changed them Monday when this messed up. But all I had to do was, I think I put 30 gallons or 25 gallons of kerosene in this. I didn't, and all I had to do was let it run for maybe 10 minutes, enough to kind of get that kerosene into the system, and it runs fine. So I should probably change the fuel filters again, but I'm going to run it today, as long as they don't hog up, and this will derate if the fuel filters give you trouble. So I'll just run it for today, just to kind of get through some of the fuel, and then I'll change them again this week, so I'm not throwing away filters left and right. So anyways, we're back in business. Just shitty fuel. Wished well, these places selling diesel and off-road, new guys have to work for a living, paid a little more attention to what they should be blending and what they're buying. So anyways, we'll catch you later.